Hello everyone and welcome to the Transit Nomad Family Rail Journey Vlog, Brasov to Budapest train review. Before we get started, I'd like to let you know that I was in Bucharest and Romania and Brasov for a few weeks, and now that my trip is over, I recorded my final verdict video comparing Romania with other countries to help you decide if you should visit, while also saving you lots of time and money with practical tips on how to get the most out of your trip. This is an exclusive video, but you can easily gain access to it by subscribing or donating any amount on buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad or using the link in the video description below. With that being said, our train is about to depart in just a minute, so we'd better get on board. As you can see, they have these paper information signs that tell you that the train is coming from Brasov to Budapest, and each train coach might be different, so it's very important to make sure you board the right coach. I noticed that they do a lot of changes throughout the journey. Some coaches go to one destination, other coaches go somewhere else, so it's very important to make sure you are in the right one, and this applies to different trains in different countries, not just in Romania or Hungary. Now that we are on board the train, first and foremost, let's take a quick look at the bathroom. While it's open, you can see it's nothing really special, but it's functional. The trains are closing. The doors are closing as we are about to depart. If you want to open the door, you press this button. If you want to close it, it's that button. Speaking of the bathroom, there is a toilet paper, and there is water, and there is soap, and I did check the water is working, so it's functional, and the soap is still there if you need it. Also, the train has this map with different kinds of destinations that can be reached by this train company. Pretty extensive network. I wish we had more train connections like this in the United States. And we are about to depart. The train just started moving. On this particular train, I'm not sure if the windows can be opened. I tried before, but it was not working. Because it's air conditioned, I think it's only opens a little bit, and only some of them. Most windows cannot really be opened, unfortunately. When I was riding a train from Sofia, Bulgaria to Bucharest, the trains could be opened kind of like halfway down, and it was really cool for filming the views. But in this case, all you can do is just this, which is not much, but still it's better than nothing. Now let's take a look at our space that we have. This right here is what the space looks like, the seats. You can hang your coat. They also have power outlets. The USB outlets were not working, but the regular outlets was working, which is very good if you are in the middle of a long journey and need to charge your laptop or your phone. The window is fairly clean, but it could be cleaner. There's trash over here. Space for the luggage. And they also have different controls for room temperature, air conditioning, and lighting. Sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not working. And they are checking tickets, so we need to make sure we have our tickets ready. train journey time takes approximately 15 hours.
Interzis foto, nix autorizații.
I'm sorry?
Autorizație să fotografiați în tren.
I'm just doing it for myself, for personal use. I noticed that sometimes they tell you you can't take videos or photos. But I noticed that on the internet, when you look up the rules of the train company, it usually says you can do it as long as you do it for personal purposes. So it's kind of a gray area. But as far as the train journey time, it takes approximately 15 hours. If I'm not mistaken, it might be a little bit less. Depending on which train you take, it might also be a little bit longer. I'm talking about leaving from Brasov, Romania, and arriving to Budapest, Hungary. If you leave from Bucharest in Romania, it takes a little bit longer because Budapest and Brasov are a few hours away. Again, it depends on the specific train that you take. Some of them have to stay longer at stations. Some of them have more priority and they don't stop for as long. But generally speaking, it's about 15 hours, give or take. And they have night train options available as well as day train options too. I chose this train because I wanted to enjoy the views during daytime. I did not want to ride in the dark. But of course, if you ride in the dark, the advantage is that you're saving some time. If you're short on time, you can use that instead of staying in a hotel and you're being transported from one place to another. I think that makes it kind of convenient if you're trying to save time. But if you want to enjoy scenic views, then daytime option is a little bit better, and it's also a little bit more affordable. Again, it depends on which train you take, but based on my research, it's a little bit cheaper to ride the daytime train than the nighttime train. I chose it because of the scenery. Although, as far as comfort goes, everything depends on what kind of neighbors you get and if you get neighbors or not. In this specific situation, we are riding on a weekday. I was hoping it wouldn't be too busy, but we had neighbors from the very beginning up until now, and that's why I was not filming for several hours. We are a couple of hours in the journey, and we had neighbors, and some of them were playing some music, and it was a little bit loud, a little bit uncomfortable. So we changed to another little space, and then we changed again because somebody else came in. So if you don't have neighbors, or if your neighbors are quiet and respectful and considerate, then your journey is going to be awesome. But if you have neighbors that are a little bit annoying or loud or inconsiderate, then this kind of really affects the experience because you don't always have a lot of space where you can escape. If you want to keep an eye on your belongings, you have to bring it with you. And as you can see, we have a lot of different bags with us and my cameras and all that stuff. So it's not very convenient when it comes to moving around. But it's still possible, and we still did that. And if you have somebody with you who is more patient, you can leave them, and then you can leave somewhere else and walk around the train. You're free to move. Just be careful. Make sure you don't go to the wrong area, the wrong coach, because they can get disconnected if the train is at the station. And then some part of the train can go in one direction, another part can go in another direction. Another thing I wanted to mention is the scenery. I noticed a lot of people online, they were talking about how scenic the train ride is from Brasov to Hungary to Budapest, or also how scenic the train ride is from Brasov to Bucharest, or vice versa. And in my personal opinion, it's not very scenic. It's kind of maybe 6 out of 10 or something like that on average. I don't consider that to be one of the most scenic train rides I've ever taken. In comparison train ride from Dresden, Germany to Prague, Czech Republic was more scenic. The mountain views were more impressive. There was also a large river next to the rail tracks, and the forest and the towns were very cute, and that train journey was very scenic. I would say 8 or 9 out of 10. Of course, Switzerland offers the best scenery there is out there, and that is 10 out of 10. I rode some trains in Switzerland, but those are really, really expensive. Now this train ride is definitely not more than 6, so if you feel that you really have to take this train because you want to experience the beautiful scenery, you might as well skip it, because for that reason you can take other trains that are more scenic than this one. Even the train from Sofia, Bulgaria to Bucharest has some parts of the route that are, I would consider, a lot more beautiful and impressive than this specific train. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying that Brasov is not beautiful. It is beautiful, and it's a great place to visit and explore. But if you're hoping to have the best, awesome, most scenic train experience, that is not the right place to look for it. And I do think it's a little bit overrated when it comes to different kind of websites online, like Reddit. People are saying, wow, this is such a journey of a lifetime, you have to go, you have to take it. I don't feel that way when I did ride it from Bucharest to Brasov, and I'm riding it from Brasov to Hungary, and I don't feel that way. And I'm interested in scenic rides. I always look for them. So another thing I wanted to mention is the cost. This is actually the good part. It's pretty affordable. I paid only about approximately 35 to 40 American dollars per ticket, and that includes a 15-hour journey all the way from Brasov all the way to Bucharest, which is a fairly long journey. It's pretty far away, and I think this pricing is very affordable, $35 to $40. It's a really good price for this kind of journey. In the United States, sometimes a very short train ride of a couple of hours would cost more. I'm not even talking about Switzerland. It's ridiculous over there. But as far as cost goes, this is very budget-friendly option to travel around. And of course, if you are thinking about flying, and you're thinking what makes more sense, if you consider the time it takes to get to the airport and go through all the check-in and security procedures, and then board the plane and then disembark, it also takes a while. And if you include all the commuting to the airport, from the airport, especially if you have a little bit of flight anxiety like I do, for me, taking the train is always the better option. But even if I were to consider timing, I do think that trains often win, even if it seems like it takes longer. In reality, it might be quicker, and also it's more comfortable for working or doing things, or just enjoying the scenery, or having a good conversation with your partner, or listening to some music, getting some rest. Trains are more comfortable than airplanes. So I would definitely recommend this option if you have a choice to take the train. And with that being said, I would like to remind you that as an active traveler and business owner with experience, I might be able to assist you with trip planning, life coaching, and business consulting, with all the details available at buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad, or through the link in the video description below. This is where you can also find lots of exclusive content on many different cities around the world, my secret tips, PDF guides, and the option to request a custom video on any topic that matters to you. Thank you everyone for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. I appreciate you being a part of the Transit Nomad family, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.